society, we are kind of closing out, right? Be it Corona or be it even before that, like the walls were being built, illegal migration, yada yada. In India also, right? Like not just in the US. In India also, we came out with this NRC and whatnot, right? So generally, this xenophobic culture or idea which is against this immigration, like close your thing, and now the government is talking about vocal for local and stuff like that. In this aspect, at a macro level, given your understanding and working with multiple markets, what do you think is happening, or what do you think? What's the current state, and where do you think this is going to go? Is globalization as a concept is like dead, like people are going to go more inward, or there's going to be a midway somewhere
I firstly, I mean, again, fantastic question. And I think it's one of those points which kind of doesn't get me to sleep really well. And you can even make it a bigger conversation than just economic conversation, right? It's also a social conversation. It's about, I mean, again, COVID, what has happened to us in the world is one of its kind. We haven't seen it, and but it has made the world a very, let's put it this way, fearful of unknowns, right? Like, I mean, again, just a great example. The other day, I had gone for a meeting in COVID to step out for a meeting in a hotel room. In a hotel is a big deal. But I was just sitting outside and standing with my friend, and then there were two people away having a smoke. In a normal environment, you would go and just have a chit chat with them. In this environment, you want to go as far away from them as possible. Then not so it has created, I guess, a social. So it stems from that social phenomenon of xenophobia, right? It is bound to come into the economic factor. However, I think you have to always remember that I think a lot of these are sensitized, political driven agendas by certain people across the globe, not just India or Europe or the US, whatever it is. It is gonna maybe, let's say, have some impacts on certain parts of the world from a direct basis, but I think it's going to be it's one of those impacts which will kind of be very large in the beginning, but then taper it out to a medium point. It might end up innovating in your own home country, which is probably a good part, but you have to remember that technology has spread its web so well across the globe that at the end of the day, if the movement would happen to us today, just think about the 1918 Spanish flu, right? 100 years back. This would have really closed down the world to in its own sense. Now today, I mean, again, you could be talking to me or you could be talking to a guy in Mexico City. It would actually make no difference to you and me, right? So I think from a technology standpoint, the world has opened up so much that I feel like it's impossible to say that globalization would not happen. Over and above that, you have to also see flow of technology, also flow of capital. I think that have created enough commercial structures that if somebody wants to be engaged in a business in some part of the world, he will find a way to make it happen, right? And venture capital, private equities, etc., are great examples of these, right? I mean, yes, you have a company X, which is Indian because it's by an Indian founder, even though an X amount of money is being invested by an international investor, correct? So I think it's the function of narrative storytelling, I would say. And I said in the short term, you will see the impact. Yes, you will. And I'm hoping as a proud citizen of my country, that the short-term impact is just helping create innovation. Not, I mean, again, I absolutely don't believe in the concept of unopen economy. So I think there's so many people who do so many things better than you and me do. But some things we might do much better than them. So it should always be a transmission of energies on both the sides. So personally speaking, I don't see this as a long-term impact. It will have a taper down effect, yes, but it will wave off because I think the technology spread and the investment spread is enough in the globe to make sure that it doesn't stagnate from a interlocking of each country perspective.